life is weird at the moment. I mean, it's always been weird. I turned 25. Was it last week? Yeah, it was only last week. It's 2026. I turned 25 and felt, as I usually do on my birthday, very weird and detached. Life is weird. I don't know how else really to explain it. I'm in a point in time where I've really given up on work and jobs and finding anything that doesn't drain me of life entirely. Anything that I could be good at, I just cannot find anything that I know is not going to lead me into a burnout. So yeah, I'm here and I'm doing my writing, but in the back of my mind, obviously, it's just the fear of like, I have to get a job, I have to make money in order to pay rent, in order to live. And I don't honestly know what the hell I'm going to do. I'm passionate about so many things, and yet I can't find a single job that would accommodate me. I know for a fact that I could not go back to full-time work. So I'm stuck with hospitality and retail and all of this shit that just makes me feel horrible about myself. And even then, you know, it's difficult to even get a job in those industries, apparently, because the job market is absolute fucking shit, especially in the UK. I'm just so lost. I don't know how people are getting up each day and doing what they're doing. Because every day I wake up just like, what the hell am I supposed to be doing right now? Creating is the only thing I'm sure about. And the rest just feels, I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know what I'm going to do when I get home. I don't think I can do these mindless jobs over and over again. Because it would be fine if I could clock out and go home. But it's never that, even with hospitality jobs. They want to take everything from you. Like you don't have a life outside of work. Even when you're just working part-time. They just keep taking and taking and taking. And it's already something I'm not passionate about, but I'm stuck here because there's no other options for me. I think I'm going to go on ADHD meds when I go home, and maybe that will help with jobs and not feeling like I get bored as soon as I start a new one and then feel like I have to move on. Usually I can last about 5 to 6 months before I feel like I need to get it, like I just get sick of it. But maybe if I'm on ADHD meds, that'll help. I don't know. So we'll give that a shot, I guess. For now, I guess I just need to keep reminding myself that I'm not alone in this, although it feels like it. Because, you know, my sister's at a totally other point in her life. She's just, you know, as confused as me, but she's traveling and the pressure is just not as suffocating, I think, for her. I mean, she's only 20, she's turning 21. She's got time to figure it out. I feel like I don't. I mean, I know that I do. But at the same time, do I? I'm 25. In a few years, people are going to be like, what the hell are you doing with your life? I'm going to be like, I still don't know. 28, probably still won't know what I'm doing. And I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Like, I know that nothing really matters at the end of the day. Like, the only reason a lot of people work their corporate jobs and blah 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 is for money. And then, you know, when you die, none of it matters anymore. And I don't have an urge to work and earn money for the rest of my life full time. I just don't have the urge to do that. And I feel like that should be okay. I literally just want a job that allows me to do my creative things on the side without feeling exhausted, without expecting the world from me all of the time, without bullying me out of it. That's all I'm asking for. It doesn't feel like a lot to ask for, you know? I want to be part of the workforce, but there are no reasonable options for me. Every job that I've been applying for recently has been like, you know, basically asking me if I'm an extrovert, if I like talking to customers, if I'm good at sales, or one question was, does it take you a while to warm up to people? No. I mean, sorry, yes, it does. Because I'm autistic. But that doesn't mean I'm not capable of doing a job. I worked in customer service. I did a great job. But yes, it takes me a while to warm up to people. So what? What does that have to do with my job performance? I just feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm literally constantly being shamed for just being who I am, which is quiet, reserved, autistic, ADHD, when I'm just trying to make money like everybody else. Like, you're telling me I can't apply for this job because I'm an introvert, or because talking to people is not my biggest skill. I can still do it. And then you look for other jobs that don't need that skill necessarily, and I'm also not qualified for some reason for those jobs. It's in, factories and warehouses where they want strong men. They don't say it, but they say, you have to be strong enough to lift this amount of weight. Of course I'm not. But that's the only other thing that there is that doesn't constantly involve social interaction. So they're already excluding me from the workforce before I've even begun. That's before I've even got the job. I just don't know what to do anymore, I came here really positive, thinking it's fine, like I'll get a job in a kitchen, far less interaction with people, it won't exhaust me as much. I won't come home feeling just like overwhelmingly dysregulated. But I did that. I got a job in a kitchen, and not only was it doing, preparing food, working in the kitchen, it was dealing with over 40 people a day, interacting with so many people in the span of 6 hours, probably more than I've ever had to do at any other job. And I was just exhausted in this tiny little space with no break, mind you. And I was just thinking, well, if I can't do this job either, because it doesn't play to my strengths, then what is there for me? I tried to be positive. I tried to find something that would play to my strengths, that would allow me to just do the work and not have to worry about, putting on the mask as much. And I couldn't. I had to quit because I got so burnt out. I can't believe I even lasted that long again. People don't understand the toll that it takes for me to put on a smile all day, for me to have to regulate my facial features in order to interact socially, because usually this is my face. This is just how it is all the time, even when I'm happy. And to have to constantly be altering that for other people. And then also figuring out how to communicate with people, how to not be rude, how to not, how to read between the fucking lines. Otherwise, you get in trouble. Or not even that. People just start to not like you. They start to hate working with you. You can feel it. They start being passive aggressive. It starts feeling horrible to have to go to work because you have to deal with people who don't like you. And you can't figure out why. Anyway, I'm just feeling very defeated, to say the least. And it makes me feel horrible as well for people who are in worse off situations, who don't have any support. I don't have much support in saying that. I can't really lean on my parents for money, or I can't even really live with them because they are quite ableist themselves. Very ableist, actually, because they don't really understand it and they don't want to. Which I understand. Their generation is... They don't, they weren't given the chance to understand this stuff. And so they spent their lives pretending and just pushing through. Like my poor dad, is probably autistic, has worked a ridiculous amount of jobs where I can just see he hates it. He absolutely hates it. And he's struggling, but he doesn't feel like he can say anything. So he just pushes through. Because he doesn't want to seem like, someone who needs help, I guess. Someone who's ungrateful. Anyway, point is, my sister and I, we don't have anyone to fall back on. Like, I can go live at home. That's better than I think a lot of people have. That's something. I know that I'm more privileged in that. I could have a roof over my head because my parents probably aren't going to kick me out. But it'll feel like they want me to leave every day. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be supportive. They're not going to understand anything. They'll push me to do things that I don't want to do because I'm living under their roof again. And I'm lucky that I even have my sister. She's all I have because she is most likely neurodivergent too. She identifies as neurodivergent. And that's all I have. And she's 20. She doesn't know. Who the hell knows what to do with that at age 20? It's just very disheartening. And I don't know what to do. So, if I do happen to post this, if anyone has any tips, anything, any ideas of what I'm supposed to do, when it comes to special interests, usually that's what auDHDers, I guess, tend to try and make a career out of. I don't really have any special interests that I think I could make a career out of. My special interests are books, TV shows, politics, but I don't want to be a politician, obviously. So, like, I don't want to make a career out of those, so that's not going to be helpful for me either. So if anyone has any advice for a young neurodivergent person who honestly just feels very stuck at this point in time. I just applied for a sales assistant job. I've never done sales before, and I can't imagine it going well. But that's all I can see as an option for me right now. So, yes, any advice would be greatly appreciated. I'm not going to give up. But sometimes, honestly,